do not recommend doing that. Don't do that. Books are heavy. Hey humans, I'm Montell, and this is The Dirty Word, where sex and language get it on. Today I'm going to be walking you through the official Dirty Word approved Summer 2K17 reading list. Last year I made one of these reading lists and I recommended 5 books that I had already read. Some were new, some were old, but they were all books that I already read and loved, and they were ones that I was recommending to anybody interested in language, gender, pop culture, or all of the above. Anyone who dug those books last year will definitely be into these. The difference is that these are all brand spanking new books that I just got and have not read, but I'm very excited about. They're all written by these super cool, badass, very contemporary female authors, and I'm just gonna go through each one and recommend them to you, and we can all read them together. The first one is Hunger, a Memoir of My Body by Roxane Gay. We all know and love Roxane Gay, author of Bad Feminist and Difficult Women, and a bunch of other incredible fiction and nonfiction books, but this is her first full-length memoir. Roxane Gay was in Los Angeles, where I live, a few weeks ago, where she was talking about this book in conversation with Anne Friedman, another incredible journalist and podcaster, and this book sounded incredibly interesting to me. I'll just start by saying Roxane Gay is fat. She is comfortable with that term, more comfortable than I think she is with terms like overweight and other euphemisms. This is a memoir of Roxane Gay's relationship to her own fatness, while at the same time kind of contextualizing fatness in our culture, where a lot of fat phobia exists. You never really read books that are discussing the idea of fatness and what it means to live in a fat body without them ending in a success story of weight loss. This is not a weight loss success story. Roxane Gay is one of the smartest writers of our generation, so I'm sure she has a lot of incredible stories to tell here. So yeah, that's the first book on my list. Weird in a World That's Not, a career guide for misfits, fuck-ups, and failures by Jennifer Romolini. I don't have a ton of details about this book. I do know that I am obsessed with the cover. It's so cute and eye-catching. I definitely do judge a book by its cover. I think that's okay. I'm a sucker for good packaging. And I also know that Jennifer Romolini is the editor-in-chief of Hello Giggles. Our guest on the last episode of The Dirty Word was a beauty editor at Hello Giggles. Hello Giggles is kind enough to write about The Dirty Word a lot. I'm just a big fan of this site. And Jennifer Romolini is a super quirky lady. This book is sort of a part memoir, part how-to guide for how to navigate the professional world when you're a complete weirdo, which I think I'll probably find useful because I have on multiple occasions gotten in trouble for my loud-mouthed personality in corporate work environments. Inside the book jacket, it says that this book offers practical advice for how to deal with issues such as, how do I navigate the awkwardness of networking? How do I deal with intense office politics? How do I leave my crappy job? How do I learn to be a boss, not just a hashtag boss? And most important, how do I do all this and stay true to who I really am? I think this book is probably just really genuinely helpful, but also funny and personal, and so I'm excited to read it. This next book is for all my word nerds out there. It's called Word by Word, The Secret Life of Dictionaries by Corey Stamper. I am so pumped about this one. So Corey Stamper for a long time worked, I don't know if she still works there, but she for a long time worked in the copy department at Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So this is a book that's also kind of part memoir, part exploration of the very niche and little understood world of lexicography that's dictionary making. It takes kind of this nerdy, fascinating dive into that whole world, how a word gets defined, some of the nitpicky little decisions that go into that process, and I think she has some really charming, delightful, and funny personal stories along the way. So this one is totally for my word nerds. It came out a little bit earlier this year, and I also love the cover. So well designed. There are also supposed to be a ton of fun little facts in here that you could bring up at a cocktail party, such as the fact that OMG, the acronym, first appeared in a letter that Winston Churchill wrote in 1917. That is a beautiful, fun fact for next time you're in a conversation with a word nerd. The geek in me is just, I can't I can't wait to dive in. This book is brand new, just came out this month. It's the next book of Laura Bates, who's a feminist writer. She founded the Everyday Sexism Project back in 2012, and there was a book based on that too. This one is called Girl Up, which the Gloria Steinem describes as an owner's guide to our world and our bodies. It will definitely save sanity and might save lives. I think I might not be the perfect demographic for this book. I was reading online that this would be an amazing book to give teenage daughters, coming of age, or even parents of teenage daughters, and it kind of breaks down a lot of the classic female stereotypes, how we're taught to be and function and act in society, what it means to be a girl or traditionally acceptably feminine in 21st century America, and I think it does it with some humor and some actual serviceable advice. Ooh, that's the other thing. Yeah, it's fun. It's filled with diagrams, illustrations. It's definitely like a cool object to own. I just opened to a chapter called Vagina is Not a Dirty Word. I actually have a whole episode on that, on the dirty word. I should maybe call her up. We should do something together. Maybe I am the perfect demographic for this book. Laura Bates, hit me up. The next book I have on my list is Ladykillers, Deadly Women Throughout History by Tori Telfer. This book is not even out yet. I was lucky enough to receive a review copy, which sounds so fancy. It says here it comes out in October 2017, so maybe this isn't really summer reading because it will be fall by then, but look forward to it. This is a book all about female serial killers. I'm totally a fan of true crime. Back when I lived in Brooklyn, my roommate and I used to drink just like a ton of sangria and watch Deadly Women, that Discovery Channel like mock reality show about female serial killers. It was delightful. Each chapter in this book explores a different female serial killer and then proceeds to unpack her legacy and her portrayal in the media, as well as the stereotypes and sexist cliches that inevitably surround her. This says it's the first book to examine female serial killers. Wow, that is a freaking tongue twister. Female serial killers, female serial killers. Say that 5 times fast. That is a dirty word challenge. It's the first book to explore female serial killers from a feminist perspective, with humor and dry wit, not taking itself too seriously. So I'm so excited to read this, and I feel honored to get to do it before most of the public. So I feel bad. I wish I could lend it to you through the screen. And here's one last book on my list. This is kind of a bonus pick. It is not like the others. Can you tell why? It's a novel. I don't read a lot of fiction. I don't know why. I've always just been more attracted to nonfiction, memoirs, essay collections. Part of me thinks it's because I can't existentially wrap my head around the idea of, like, if we're supposed to suspend our disbelief and just accept the world of this book, then who in that scenario is writing it? Like, how are the protagonist's thoughts being transcribed onto paper? It's just like a mind fuck I can't get over. But sometimes in the summer I like to just relax with some fiction. I am excited about this one, The Assistants, a novel by Camille Perry. I think this book is kind of a comment on the era we live in, when so many women are hyper educated and overqualified for the jobs that they have because of just the economic state that we're in our country and the job market. The plot is that this very capable executive assistant, this woman who's in her 30s, comes into some money accidentally from her company and gets involved in this huge embezzlement scheme, and there's just drama and humor and lies and general hoopla. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Dirty Word. I hope that these book picks provided you with some inspiration the next trip you take, if you need something to read on the plane, by the pool, by the spa. Don't read in the spa. The masseuse will be offended. And I would love to hear your summer book recommendations. Please leave them in the comments below. Happy reading, and remember, stay dirty.